Good morning, students. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss effective stress principle, which is the second part of third module. And its first part was permeability of soil, and that we have discussed in the class. Then, what are the stresses for unsaturated soil? There are three types of stresses. They are total stress, pore water pressure or neutral stress, and effective stress. First one is total stress. Total stress is indicated by the notation sigma, and total stress is carried by soil solids and water present in the soil mass. We know that in a three-phase system there will be solid soil, there will be air voids and water present in the soil mass. And the stress which is carried by the whole system is known as total stress. Okay, and it is indicated by the notation sigma. The stress carried by the solids influence the strength and compressibility characteristics of the soil. And if the stress is increased, the soil will get compressed and it will affect the permeability characteristics and other engineering property. That is, if the soil is compressed, the void ratio will get reduced and the permeability will also get reduced. Likewise, the total stress will influence the strength and compressibility characteristics of the soil system. Then the total stress has physical meaning and making it to be measurable, that total stress can be measured. Next, the total stress at any point is the weight of the soil lying above that plane at which we are determining the stress. That is, in this example, consider the soil mass which is at a depth set below the ground surface. This is the ground surface, and the soil mass is at a depth set below this ground surface. And sigma is the total stress acting on the soil mass. And this total stress is the weight of the soil lying above that plane at which we are determining the stress. So what will be the total stress? Total stress will be actually the submerged weight, that is the weight of the soil which is lying above that point. Okay, so for calculating that, we are multiplying the unit weight of the soil with the depth of the soil up to that point. So at this point, total weight is equal to unit weight of the soil into depth z. This sigma is equal to gamma into z. This is the equation for calculating total stress. Okay, so for calculating total stress at any point, we are multiplying the unit weight of the soil with that depth. Second type of stress is pore water pressure or neutral stress. And the pore water pressure is due to the pore water filling the voids of the soil. I have explained that in the soil voids there may be water or air, and the pressure exerted by this water which is filled in these voids is known as pore water pressure. That is pressure exerted by the water. And for calculating pore water pressure, the equation is pore water pressure is notated by the letter U, and U is equal to unit weight of water into H, because this is the pressure exerted by the water. So for calculating pore water pressure, we are multiplying unit weight of water with height of water. Okay, and it cannot resist the shear stresses. This pore water pressure cannot take any load or any external shear stress. So it has not any engineering importance because it cannot resist shear stresses. Third type is effective stress. This is very important, effective stress. So the chapter itself is known as effective stress principle. First we have discussed what is total stress. Second, pore water pressure. Next important parameter is effective stress. And effective stress is the difference between total stress and pore water pressure. That is, effective stress is notated by the symbol sigma, and sigma dash, which is equal to sigma total stress minus U. U is pore water pressure. So effective stress is equal to total stress minus pore water pressure, and it is a mathematical quantity and not a physical quantity because it cannot measure directly in the laboratory, because it is this effective stress is obtained from this equation only. It cannot measure directly. By measuring total stress and pore water pressure, we can find out this effective stress. Thus, effective stress directly cannot be measured. It is obtained by this equation. That is, it's a mathematical quantity. Okay, but as a geotechnical engineering, the important stress is known as effective stress. Okay, in this figure, two types of stresses are explained. That is, this is a soil mass. There are the yellow color thing is soil. That is soil solids, and in between there will be voids or water, etc. This blue color is water. So total stress means the stress acting on the soil system. Okay, the whole soil system, the stress which is acting on the whole soil system is known as total stress. So it may be acting on top of the soil surface, and it will be equal to weight coming on that plane. Okay, and U is known as pore water pressure, and it is the pressure exerted by the water which is filled in the pores towards the solid, so towards the soils. Okay, so it is clear that is pore water pressure is the pressure exerted by the water which is filled in the pores towards the soil. Okay, the pressure is exerted, the water is exerting pressure towards the soil. So effective stress will be equal to this total stress sigma minus pore water pressure U, known as effective stress. Then importance of effective stress means it controls the engineering properties of soil. All the engineering properties of soil are controlled by this effective stress. Because in shear strength also, what is the equation for shear strength? S is equal to C plus sigma tan phi. But that sigma is actually sigma dash effective stress. Because when I was taking that chapter, I did, you are not familiar with this effective stress. So I just notated as stress itself. But actually the stress is effective stress, that is shear strength S is equal to C plus sigma dash tan phi is the correct equation. This in every case stress means effective stress in the case of soil, because pore water pressure cannot resist shear stress, so it has not any engineering property. So we have to reduce pore water from total stress, so that comes the effective, so it is known as effective stress. And also permeability, compressibility, stability of slopes, bearing capacity, etc., all depends upon effective stress. Okay, so effective stress is the important engineering property, and when we are talking about stress in soil, it means effective stress. Okay, next I can take this figure here. Stress at point A, consider this point A, the point C, point B. Stress at point A, at point A total stress is equal to sigma A. Okay, for calculating total stress at A, what is the procedure? We have to find the weight above that point, that is here there is only water, so unit weight of water into that height, that is the total pressure. Okay, so and pore water pressure means the pressure exerted by water at that area, so it is equal to unit weight of water into that height. Okay, then effective stress will be the difference between total stress and pore water pressure, because here both are same, effective stress is equal to 0, because it is a reverse condition, that is here seepage flow is towards upward direction, because so effective stress is 0. This will be later discussed in critical hydraulic gradient part, then you will be clear about the situation. Okay, next this is the procedure of doing problem in this area. Okay, for doing problem, that is usually in exams, problem will be to find out the effective stress of a soil system. Okay, for that first we have to find out total stress by drawing this diagram, and then pore water pressure, and by reducing pore water pressure from total stress we will get effective stress. First, this is not a problem, it's an example. The figure is same as this figure. So this is the total stress diagram. Here the variation will be linear, that is at top of the point stress will always be 0, therefore it is 0. At starting point it will starts from origin, because here the stress is 0, there is no there is no load above that surface, so it is 0. And at point AA, take the point AA, this is the point A. At this point the total stress will be equal to, above this point there is water, therefore unit weight of water into that height h1. Okay, so h1 into unit weight of water is the total stress. Then pore water pressure also same. Pore water pressure means pressure exerted by the water. Here water is at a height of h1, therefore unit weight of water into h1, so effective stress will be 0. Therefore here there is no stress, because effective stress is 0, so it is in the origin itself. Okay, and consider second point C. Okay, at second point C, what is the total stress? Total stress means the stress up to this point, so we have to consider all this area. Okay, so there will be pressure exerted by this h1 height plus pressure exerted by this height. This height is Z, here it is Z. Okay, so h1 into, at h1 height the pressure is by water, so h1 into unit weight of water, plus for this Z height the pressure is by the soil. Okay, soil, that is Z into saturated, that is unit weight of saturated unit weight, because here it is water table, so this soil will be in saturated condition. Therefore Z into saturated unit weight. Okay, if the water table was not the this will be bulk unit weight, but since water table was above this system, the soil is in saturated condition, so here saturated unit weight came. So okay, and in take the condition of pore water pressure at point C. What is the pore water pressure? Water will be at for a height of this here also there is water, because it is all connected through a pipe. So in throughout this area there is water, so up to this point there will be water for Z plus H1. Okay, therefore H1 plus Z into unit weight of water, that is a pore water pressure at point C. Okay, so effective stress will be total stress minus pore water pressure, that is H1 into unit weight of water plus Z into saturated unit weight minus H1 into unit weight of water minus Z into unit weight of water. So H1 into unit weight of water will be cancelled. Therefore, answer is Z into unit weight saturated unit weight minus unit weight of water, that's equal to submerged unit weight. Okay, what is submerged unit weight? Submerged unit weight is equal to saturated unit weight minus unit weight of water. So the answer, the effective stress is Z into unit weight submerged unit weight. Okay. Next, take the like this. Take the point B, and here the total stress will be the stress above this area. So the whole area will come. That is H1 plus here H1 plus this height is H2. So there is no need to take Z, because H1 plus H2 is the total height. So for height H1 into unit weight of water, and for H2 there is unit weight of soil, that is H2 into saturated unit weight of soil, that is the total stress. And second case, pore water pressure. Pore water pressure in at the point B, what is the pore water pressure? Pressure exerted at point B for a height H1 plus H2. Okay, so H1 plus H2 into unit weight of water, H1 plus H2 into unit weight of water. This is the pore water pressure at the point sorry B. Okay, so effective stress, how we are calculating effective stress? Total stress minus pore water pressure. So this point H1 unit weight of water plus H2 saturated unit weight minus H1 unit weight of water minus H2 unit weight of water. So answer is H2 into submerged. Here also saturated minus unit weight of water comes, and it is replaced by submerged unit weight. Okay, like this we are also doing problem for calculating effective stress. Okay, so we can do one problem. This is the worked out problem in Aurora textbook. So after hearing this lecture, you just go through the textbook and try to do this problem in your notebook or any paper. Okay, problem is a sand deposit is 10-meter thick and overlies a bed of soft clay. The groundwater table is 3 meters below the ground surface. If the sand above the groundwater table has a degree of saturation 45%, plot the diagram showing the variation of the total stress, pore water pressure, and the effective stress. The void ratio of the sand is 0.7. Take G is equal to 2.65. This is the problem. Here, uh, uh, when uh, when this type of problem asks, that is there are different types of soil layers. That situation, you first draw the figure showing different layers of soil. Okay, that is the first step, otherwise you cannot do this problem. Okay, so first a sand deposit of 10-meter thickness, 10 for a depth of 10 meter there is a sand deposit which overlies a bed of clay. Okay, above this clay bed there is sand for a height of 10 meter. Then the groundwater table is 3 meter below the ground surface. Okay, from 3 meter below the ground surface there is groundwater table, it's also marked here. Like this you first draw the figure showing different soil layers. Okay, next we have to find out the effective stress at each layers. Okay, for finding out effective stress or stress, we have to find out unit weight. Here unit weight is not given, but here the degree of saturation is given, and void ratio G extra is given. So you have to calculate by taking suitable equation. That is, there is an equation connecting bulk density or unit weight, that is bulk density. Here first they have calculated based on mass density and is converted into unit weight by multiplying 9.8. But you just do the direct equation, that is unit weight bulk unit weight is equal to G plus E into S divided by 1 plus C into unit weight of water. You can directly substitute 9.8. You can skip this step. Okay, that this step or this method you have studied in first module, so no need to explain more about this calculation. Okay, so you find out unit weight, bulk unit weight by using this equation, that is bulk unit weight here obtained as 17.11 kilonewton per meter cube, that is by substituting degree of saturation 45 percentage, that is if the sand above the groundwater table, that is above this area, degree of saturation is 45 percentage. So unit weight at this area for the layer AB, okay, that is 17.11. And below this point, below the groundwater, below the level B, the soil will be in saturated condition. So we have to calculate saturated unit weight by putting S is equal to 1. Okay, by putting S is equal to 1 in this equation, we will get saturated unit weight as 19.33 kilonewton per meter cube below this point, because above this point soil is in bulk, the unit weight is bulk unit weight, and below saturated unit weight, because ground here it is groundwater table comes here, so below the groundwater table soil is in fully saturated condition, so put S is equal to 1 and calculate as 19.33. Okay, in some problem this will be given here. Since unit weight is not given, we have to calculate the unit weight. So you should thorough about the basic relationship that is discussed in first module. Okay, that equation should be in your mind at any time. Then we can do the calculation part. For that, first take the point A. At the point A there will not be stress, because at the top surface it will be 0, so it starts from the origin. This is the total stress diagram. It's a pore water pressure and it is effective stress. Okay, so take the layer BB, section BB. Okay, so at the section BB, what will be the total stress? Total stress means the stress exerted by the soil system. Okay, so this height is 3 meter, 3 meter into unit weight of soil. Okay, what is the unit weight of soil? We have calculated 17.11. So 3 into 17.11 is the total stress at the BB section. Next, at BB section we have to find out pore water pressure. At BB section there is no water above the BB section. Okay, water table starts from this section only. So here there is no pore water pressure. Pore water pressure is 0. So no effective stress is equal to total stress itself, that is 51.33. So you can mark here. You can mark here total stress as 51.33, and this pore water pressure is 0. So starts from here, it is 0. Then take section CC. At section CC, what is the total stress? Total stress means the stress due to soil at this height plus stress due to soil at this height. Okay, that is for 3 meter height the unit weight is 17.1, that is 17.11 into 3 plus this height 7 meter into, and for this layer unit weight is 19.33. So by adding these two we will get 186.64 kilonewton per meter square. That is the total stress at the section CC. Okay, next we have to find out the pore water pressure at section CC. So what will be the pore water pressure? Here water table is at a height of 7 meter only. Okay, at 3 meter there is no water, so at 7 meter 7 meter into unit weight of water is the pore water pressure at this area. So effective stress is the difference between total stress minus pore water pressure. Total stress at CC section we have obtained as 186.64 minus pore water pressure is 68.67. So answer is 17.97. This is the effective stress at this point. Here you can mark the value. Okay, here effective stress is 51.33, same value. So you can draw if in question it is specified that you draw the diagram, you should draw this diagram and mark the values. That is at BB section total stress is 51.33, so you mark here 51.33, and effective stress is also 51.33. You should mark effective stress here, effective stress. So likewise at point C, total stress is 186, here 186, and here 68.67, and here 117.97. So you should mark in the figure also. Okay. Next problem. A soil profile consists of layer of sand 3.5. Here also different soil layers is given. That is 3.5 meter height sand and 3 meter clay and 3.5 meter gravel. And unit weight. Here mass density is given. Mass density at each layer is given. Okay. Here mass density is given in megagram per meter cube. So by multiplying 9.8, we will get the value in kilonewton per meter cube, that is in unit weight. Okay. So here the values are given, unit weight is given, so you just find out the stresses in each layer. Determine the effective pressure at various level immediately after placement of surcharge load of 58.86 kilonewton per meter square to the ground surface. Here difference is that there is a surcharge load at the top of the ground surface. Okay, surcharge load is there. Surcharge load means it may be any load of any building or anything, that is external load, and the load is 58.86. It is put on the top surface. So at point A, top level, there will be this surcharge load. If there is no such a surcharge load at the starting point or at the top level, the pressure will be 0. But here, since there is a surcharge load of 58.86, the total stress at this top level is the surcharge load, that is 58.86. So you mark it as 58.86. So at section AA, total stress is 58.86, and pore water pressure will be 0, and effective stress is also 58.86. Okay, and take the section BB. At the section BB, what will be the total stress? Total stress will be this 58 and 58.86. This 58.86 should be added with each layer, because it is on the top layer, so it will impart stress on different layers, all layers below the level. Okay, since it is on top. So this 58.86 plus for 3.5 meter height, the unit weight of soil is given as 1.65 mega gram per meter cube. So multiplying by 9.8, it will come in kilonewton per meter cube. So this 3.5 into unit weight, that will 115.51 is the total stress. And pore water pressure, here it is 0 because groundwater table is below 3.5. Here starts the groundwater table, so here pore water pressure is 0. Therefore effective stress is equal to this total stress. Then at section CC, the total pressure is this add, that is 3.5 into the pressure 1.65, here unit weight, plus 3 into here unit weight, and the answer is 172. Here it is added with the previous pressure. Okay, and this also same, or you can add with the previous pressure, or you can calculate this value. 3.5 is the 3.5 into 1.6 into 9.8 plus 3 into 1.95 into 9. For 3 meter height, 1.95 is the mass unit weight, mass density. So 172. Here pore water pressure is for a height of 3 meters, so U is equal to 3 into 9.81. So by subtracting pore water pressure from total stress, we will get effective stress as 143. Likewise at section D, total stress will be equal to this 58.86 plus 3.5 into here unit weight plus 3 meter into its unit weight plus 3.5 into its unit weight. Okay, that will be the total stress, and effective stress will be this 3 plus 3.5. Okay, for that height there is water, so therefore 3 plus 3.5, 6.5 into 9.8 is the pore water pressure. So effective stress will be obtained by subtracting this pore water pressure from total stress, and is the value. So you draw this figure and mark the values. Here it is marked. Okay, this is the procedure of calculating effective stress. Okay, this is very simple, but when you read the question, you feel it is very difficult, but it is very simple. You can score full mark by doing like this. Okay, you take each layer and take the total stress, effective stress, pore water pressure extra, and draw figure like this, and mark each parameters, each value. Okay. Okay, this is known as effective stress principle. You should do more problems on the textbook. Okay, and next class I will take the last topic of third module. Okay, thank you.